It has been forever since I've done this. Okay, it's working there. Is there a way I can view chat while I'm doing this? Maybe. First off, how you guys doing? Second off, how do I use this? Well, anyways, I guess we're here. It's another day. Oh, wait, I think I saw Twitch. There we go. No, that's whispers. Stream manager. Oh, sick, dude. Okay. Perfect. 1 minute, 0 content. It's exactly what we're looking for. It's the benchmark. Okay. I'm gonna have to squint to read that. But that's good. It'll work. Hello. I'm here. I guess I felt like it's been forever since I've done a stream, and I kind of want to be more consistent at it. So we're just gonna break the ice and do it. Because what else is there to do? All right. So I actually want to. What do I want to do? I want to work on these frogs. So currently, they move, they jump, and they eat you and kind of crap you out backwards, which is cool, but I think they need like animation and stuff to really make it work. So that's what we're gonna do. Her mouth needs to close as well after the animation. So let's take a look at that. I was watching a video about technical debt, which is like as you make a project, you accrue more and more debt as time goes on, and it makes it more and more difficult. It's kind of like the perpetual spaghettyification of code, which is pretty interesting. I never really thought about it or even really heard the term, but I guess leapfrog, mouth, leapfrog, eat. That make more sense. Let's do that. Alright, so we're going to have 2 layers. Get rid of that one. We don't need to see that right now. We're going to have a player, and then we're going to have the frog. Can we make this bigger? Okay. And the... Okay. It's right in the middle there. I kind of want it this guy to the left. And that was there. Okay. So we got it set up. Now let's steal our player. Thought I had for some reason the previews are not loading. I could run to the player, but I thought I had here it is, human base. Perfect. Let's copy that. And how are we gonna do this? I guess I might need more vertical space as well. So let's do 30, put him down there. Okay. I want the player to kind of, he's going to be like in jump, so it makes sense for his legs to be up. Because it's kind of going to be in jump. Maybe I shouldn't tilt him so far just yet. Like here. Let's just try to get the keyframes in. So then he's going to be like here probably. Okay. And then I want him to go much further. So I suppose we can make his legs go out like this. So obviously the nose is going to need to be moved. Something. I feel like I want his legs to kick out here. Something like that. To show the struggle. Is that weird? That kind of works. I guess his knee would kind of be out. Okay, we're going to work on it, but... Okay, then he needs to reduce. So his head is going to be... How far do we want him in? Like here? Something like that. This leg will be out. Perhaps since he's pulling him down, the leg can start to move up. Like this. Yeah, kind of like that. This. Obviously, we can do arms as well. Something like that. And then he's kind of like going to trap him in, so there should be some sort of frame before that happens. Hello, how are you? Teitoku, what is up? I saw you on earlier, or I don't know what it is, but it just looks like you're always in my chat or something, so I was like, I added you. It was pretty funny. Just gonna eat him like this. I kind of like that. Let's make this leg go up more. This one can probably go higher too. Okay, and then the mouth needs to close, so. Oh, interesting. So like, I haven't been here for like a year, so is it just, I actually don't know what Chatterino is. I'll look it up later. It must be some kind of program. Because I have Chatty, which kind of shows me the like basic information, and then I can see followers and stuff too, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know what all the streamers use or whatever. That's pretty funny though. So how have you been, man? Have you been good? How's life? What are you up to? I realized that in 28 days it would have been a year since I streamed, and my buddy's been streaming a lot, so I was like, man, I gotta get back on this grind. And I also thought it would be kind of funny if when I do release the update, if I had it so that I was streaming and watching them, the streamer, whatever it is, anybody playing it or whatever, and then anybody from that chat could talk to me directly, because I had a lot of fun when Moon was streaming, and I was in his like Discord and I was chatting with everyone. That was super fun. Yeah, dude, how you doing, Kashi? How's life? It's been a day. Bronoham, our default streamer, my buddy, has not he's slacking is what he was doing. Okay, so here, let me try to, I was gonna make the mouth go lower. That's what I want to do next. Let's move that. How do I want that to close? Much love to you as well. Let's see. Okay, well, actually, we do have a frog closed mouth, so let's get that in here. White, and then we need that on. Figure out where that's at. Okay, so it's eventually going to be like that, but there's a bunch of stuff in animation about like squash and stretch. So that's what we want to do here. We want to make it so that when it's going to like go a little bit over, because that's going to give it some kind of like bouncy effect. I also think I want to make him bigger too, like as if he's just eating something. I might have a lisp because I'm not listening to myself talk. So let's give him the overbite. Or maybe we'll just move it from here. Because he's going to go and then back, if you can kind of see that. So right now we have, oh, it's way too fast. Need 10 frames a second. Let's see how that looks. Oh, wrong one. Frog eat. Let's do 10 frames a second. Let's see how that looks. No. So this is, okay. Okay, I fucked up there. This one is unnecessary. No, don't. Okay, that's kind of good. Let's make him bigger too. The idea is that he eats some, and then he gets bigger. He needs to be bigger here, I think. Maybe it's just weird around the eyes. I guess I can make him bigger sideways too. What if I give him 2 pixels here? Don't. Like that. That kind of looks pretty good. I don't. Well, this is the overbite, right? Yeah. Okay, and then his overbite has to go back to here. But he's still big. Okay, we're getting there. The back probably can get slightly bigger to round that out. Okay, and then these are just the base sprites. We don't technically need those. I can reference them later because I have them here. Soup, doop, doop, doop. Okay, that looks pretty good for a basic start. So that means that we're going to need a big animation for his jump as well. Otherwise, he's going to just look smaller. I guess it's not that big a deal, but I also want to refine this a little bit here. And we can probably make it 15 frames to make it faster. Okay, looks sweet. Then we got to make that tongue wrap around him too. So so he catches the player. So let's do another topmost layer for the tongue. Okay. And then let's remove the tongue from the previous layers here. I guess I should have did this in the beginning, but hindsight. This is lacking. This needs to be deleted. This needs a little bit more. So we could have him stop here. 1, 2, back. And then I could recede by 1 slowly here. Whoop. And then return to base position. That slide looks a little weird. Maybe I can do. Maybe he needs to go up to show Can I make him up? Doop, 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 doop. I kind of like that. Don't. There's something weird about it, though. I don't know what it is. Let's slow it down. Let's go back to it. Maybe I need to hold it on that frame longer. Oh, I think it's because he goes down before he goes back. Maybe I can recede there. I'm not opposed to that. That looks okay. I want this to be a little bit. Okay. There, back. Maybe this can afford to move over one. I like that. It looks good. Okay. Let's do 15, and then let's do the tongue. We don't need this anymore. Okay, so the tongue is going to latch on. So we want it to kind of like that. I guess I need to refine the player first before I do that. Okay, this is fine. Actually, I want his arms to come out. Maybe he's wrestling the tongue, trying to pry it off of himself. So let's put his hand like that. You like this? Yeah, you like that. So if it's wrapped, then we can do a... This arm could technically just be trapped. I'll make it come out just a little bit, like he's getting ready to do something with it. There we go. This can lower that. Maybe it looks better higher. Just need more elbow. It's kind of a weird angle. There we go. Okay, and then if we were to add tongue to this frame, it would look like he's kind of like rolling it in. So we can do like here where the shoulders are. And so this is like he's trying to pry it off. So we can wrap up or down. Maybe I can do down. I feel like that's fine. This. Okay, now I need to refine this. If we take the previous frame, player would probably be up here. Maybe we can actually have him grabbing the tongue here and pulling it up. Like you're most likely not going to see it because it's going to happen so fast, but I'll still do it. Maybe this arm is now out because he's like bracing, like if you would if you fall. Yeah. Okay. Does that look like somebody bracing for a fall? I feel like this elbow would be up. Shoulder up high. Okay, he's looking a little weird. But you're, like I said, it's going hella quick. So we gotta keep it in the context of 15 frames a second. Okay, but we're still gonna do this tongue pull thing because I think that's kind of funny. Okay, so the tongue wraps down here, and then maybe he's got a hold of it, and he's trying to pull it off. Does that look good? That's kind of weird. Let's move it up higher. No, it looks like he's actually grabbing it when it's here. Looks like it wraps around his chest. He's got a hold of it. I think the arm position I don't like. That's got to be what it is. Because he's got to be like straining to pull it. So maybe here. And then we'll redo this tongue. So the tongue comes down. Out. Now technically it would be taut if it was being pulled. So if it came from here, it needs to come lower. And then it needs to be like that. And then the end can be loose. And then 15 frames a second. That looks too weird with this being up here. What about that? I kind of like that. That looks pretty good. I might reduce some tongue here though. It does look like he's fighting with it. The legs are turning. Okay, we can fix this. This can be out more. This can be out more. I kind of want like a final hoorah of the tongue in hand, so this is around him. He's trying to fight it. That's obviously shoulder. Should I go to here? Shoulders kind of tucked behind. That makes sense. Let's get this in here. Looks pretty good, but we lost this arm over here. I don't like that. Let's do that. Oop, I did that on the wrong layer. Actually, let's... I don't like this tongue out. Okay. That looks pretty good. Big. For 2 frames. Recede. Legs go up. Okay. I'm pretty content with that. Alright, so now we actually have to do some funky, annoying stuff, though. So, we have to duplicate this. So this is going to be player frog eaten. Because the player animation has to be separate because I have a shader for people that want to change their colors. And because I have this shader, that means that anything that isn't a specific color in the shader doesn't change colors with the player correctly. It doesn't allow them to be drawn. So the easiest way to do that is just make a separate sprite, It's the same size as everything else, but it's just going to be the player. So what we're going to do here is we need to make sure that we remove, well, technically the frog is going to be on a higher layer than the player. So all we have to do is remove this stuff. Okay. Actually, I don't think I have to do anything crazy. Yeah, that looks a little weird, but it's going to have to be like that. Okay, and then we can program it, I guess. Let's see how difficult that would be. So we have the frog. The frog has an eat player, I think in the end step. Yeah, eats player. Okay, so if it does not equal frog mouth is the current thing I have it set to. Alright, so we want the sprite index. Actually, does this have an image speed? It does. Okay. So if the sprite index does not equal leapfrog eat, we want it to start the animation for leapfrog eat, make sure it's on the first frame, and then we have the player, and we have the animation for the player. Good thing I had notes here. So the player's index is going to be SBR player frog eaten, and the image index is going to be 0 for that. This is within the player, so I don't have to do any other calls. Okay. Eat anim. So we're being eaten. No animations are allowed because the player is being caught. And then now we need to make sure that the animation finishes. Okay, what is the easiest way to do that? So I guess we're going to just take this again. Oh, we have an eaten player variable. Alright, so if eaten player equals true, and we want the sprite index thing here. Actually, let's just put that lower and I'll siphon it. Okay, and if the sprite index of this frog equals leapfrog eat, alright, and then we want to do if image number is less than if image index. So this is the frame of the animation. If the frame of the animation that we're on is greater than or equal to the total number of frames minus 1, because it starts at 0, then we want it to stop on the final frame. So image index equals the image number, which is the final frame, minus 1, I think. And then we want the player to stop also. So this also needs to check, first off, if the player exists, because if it does not exist, I don't want this code running because it'll crash the game. Then we got to do the same thing with the player. So its image index is going to equal image number minus 1. And then we also want to make the image speed 0 so it doesn't re-loop the animation again. I think this will just work. It might not be perfect. So theoretically what we're doing is we're changing the animation for both the player and the frog. The player's on a lower layer than the frog. So the frog's tongue should be above it. The frog eats it. It's still going to go through its normal animations. I don't have a big, like a fat frog jump right now. And then as soon as it craps out the player, then theoretically the player's animation should just return to normal, which I think is in here. Yeah. Digestion time is 15, which is half a second. And then it shoots the player out backwards and then allows the player to do it. Animation, stop on final frame. I guess we can run it and see if it works. Might take a little bit longer to build because we're streaming. So all my GPU has gone to that. But we'll see. I'm optimistic. So what's up with you guys? Anything new? It's been like a year. Not that anything has to happen. Just curious. I made this cat too. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. You like that? It's pretty good. I feel like he has to be sarcastic. Also, I'm kind of surprised I don't have a sprite named Cat, and I was able to name that cat out of the thousands of sprites I have already. Sometimes I just type like a random thing, and I'm like, oh, I've never used that before, and then it'll be like, there's a sprite by this name that already exists. It's like, ah, son of a bitch. Alright, here we go. Final moment. Let's see if it works. So the frog will eat me. Okay, that is messed up. Okay, so the animation's playing. Oh, it worked there. Okay, but the X and Y is not correct. Okay, we gotta fix that. And it's because we made the eat taller. What's going on here? I think it is because the eat is taller. I think it's not refreshing the thing again. So let's just let's move it, reopen it, and let's put it here. And then let's do the same thing for this. I'm gonna move it up one, close it. I think this beta version of GameMaker has some little kinks in it. Okay, so that should fix that, but we also need to make sure that the player direction is facing the same direction as the frog, because obviously if the player is facing left, then that's not going to work. So when the player is being eaten, for the eat animation, the player's image X scale, which is the direction they're facing, needs to equal this frog's image X scale. Technically the X and Y also has to equal. Do I have something that's holding the player still? Oh, it is right here. Okay, I want this just to be the X and the Y of the frog. Technically, the player's collision is going to be weird too, isn't it? Yeah. This shouldn't matter that much, but where does this end at? That's right, we're going to have player collision to deal with. Okay. We'll just YOLO it for now. Let's see if fixing the X scale, fixing the, what is that called again? Not the collision mask. Whatever this thing is. The center? Whatever. I don't know why I can't think of that name. The frame of reference? No, it's too big. Wherever it's centered at, that's where it's drawn the sprite from or whatever. That's where we create things from. That's where the X and Y is drawn. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, let's see if that fixed it. Okay, frog eats. Okay, the frog is still low for some reason. But the image X scale looks great. if it wasn't for my fat frog dipping into the ground. Oh, it's because of the... It's because his... I'm stupid, I gotta know. It's because his collision is changed. What does his collision look like here? It is 1 to the right of his foot. 1 to the right of his foot. And then obviously this is going to be changed. Okay, it's fixed now. We figured it out. I'm a believer. That's right. I changed the sprite, so it's going to take a lot longer to compile. So we can just admire this eating animation for the time being. That looks pretty good. Oh, there we go. Where am I? There it is. Oh, yes. Okay, wait. That looks great, but we don't want him to run it back twice. I suppose we need some sort of fart animation or something. Why does he keep running it again? Oh, I guess, do I have anything that changes his thing back to a... So I have the animation... Does it in the phase, I think. Yeah, okay. So his sprite index needs to go back to normal after he knocks the player out. And that should stop that. Because what's happening is the animation is only resetting after the jump. Because he'll go jump and then it resets. But I don't have a reset for this here. Obviously there needs to be some sort of fart animation here too. Probably just him getting like that or something, like a shake. I'm too quick. Oh, perfect. Oh my god, that looks great. Yes. Oh, it's so good. Oh my god. Honestly, it kind of looks like he is. I think I need the reverberating, like, fart of some sort, because I think that'll be funnier. Should I do an eat in air, too? Because his legs are... I mean, it's not going to be that difficult to do that. Okay, he didn't even play his animation there. I think it's because he got interrupted. Yeah, you like that? I love it. I think it looks great. Here, let's see if the colors work too. Fun Mall. It's been a while since I've done... this actually may just crash because I haven't done this in forever, but let's see. Can we get like a brighter color? I want something easier to see. Who made these colors? I mean, I guess I can see white. Let's see if that works. Wait, does he not eat because he has a weight in the oh, he does. Okay, I want him to actually eat. Why is the weight eat 0? Or why is it 30 here? It needs to be 0. Because right from the get-go, the frog should be able to eat. Perfect. I probably will do a leg dangling version, and then we need a fart animation, which means we need 2 of them, 1 for the legs down, 1 for the legs up. It looks good. He can probably actually push him much further than that, than just immediately behind. That works pretty good. The way you're supposed to do the levels, I kind of left like a gap, so the player is supposed to go along with them. But I don't mind it being harder, because I like the idea of them, you know, obviously this perpetual backwards thing. So I think I need to increase the... And if they're holding spacebar, they fly even further back, because it lowers the gravity rate that falls down, because there's technically a variable jump height. Okay, yeah, we gotta do legs down, fart animation. Let's make a note of it. Leapfrog level, fart animation, probably like reverberation of some sort. And then, what else did I say we need? Oh, legs down, eat, which also means legs down, fart as well. And then shoot player back further. That should be pretty good. I like that. Looks good. Do I want to do that next, or do I want to do something else? This looks pretty good. I'm pretty content with this. Simple level. Simple. There's no way out. I suppose I could do the Qbert code next. Do I have the gumption though? That might be a nightmare. Because I want to do the GUI level 2, because I want to get that in. We could just finish the frogs. Let's try a further knockback and then I'll decide. So right now the V speed is -6. Actually it doesn't raise the, here let's do with OBJ player. I'm not sure why I decided to do a bunch of calls to it when I can just do this. Okay, and then I want the Y to minus by 3, so he's up a little bit. Maybe we'll go back a little further and let's see how that looks. And then I suppose we could do legs. It's pretty simple. We just need to copy this animation and then keep the bottom. And then we need to check whether or not he's in air. Whether or not they're in air. Okay, that is actually much further. Almost goes back 2 frogs. Alright, bro, chill. I feel like there's a way to do this faster. Son of a bitch. I know there's a way to do that faster. Oh, I could have jumped there. I'm bad at my own game. Oh. Okay. That's pretty good. I guess we'll do the legs now. Let's get them done. I think I can do some, do it pretty quickly. So let's see here. We have the eat. It's going to be the same eat animation for the player. So we need frog eat jump. We need his legs. And then we need to transpose them onto the eat jump. So what are we doing here? I suppose, let's see how long the legs are. Can we just shift all these up? 1, 2, oh. Is there an easier way to do this? Can I select all the layers at once? GameMaker is not friendly. Alright. Let's just, I want to do a bigger sprite. It might not seem like a big deal, but it does eventually add up to more compiling later. Okay. And what do we got here? We need to, actually I need it from the mouth, because I think that would be a good reference point. Let's take maybe the bottom of the mouth. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. And then we're just going to simply delete the legs and replace them. Obviously, we're going to have to change it because some of them are bigger. But for these beginning ones, okay. So let's do these first. Be here. Perfect. Okay, and now we're gonna do these, and this is where he gets bigger. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut from here to here. So we need, okay, we're close. This has to go back that way. Let's go up here. Okay. I think we can just fill all that in, right? Yeah, it looks good. And then can we just take this again? We can. Okay. Okay, and this is where he gets smaller-ish. No? Oh, it's just his head, and this is where he gets smaller. Okay. So is this just, yeah, one smaller. Okay. Okay, that should work, theoretically. As long as the jump eat, okay, is there, and then the collision mask. What does the jump collision mask look like? Okay, I guess that's correct. Okay. So that is what? Step 1, reverberation, X. Okay, got it. So now, okay, so for the eat animation, if v speed does not equal 0, so if we're in the air, else we're going to do these. So the v speed, if his vertical speed is changing, then he's going to basically do this, but different. Going to do the jump one. Player is still going to remain the same. And then we're going to have to put this inside here. If sprite index equals SPR, what is it? Frog eat, leap, frog eat, or eat jump. then you're gonna do this. And that should work, maybe. So now, when the frog is jumping, it will eat the player, but still have its legs down, so they don't awkwardly go up. I think that'll work. I'm optimistic. Oh, I gotta actually get in there. Oh, okay. Okay, it does work, but the problem is if the frog was jumping, then its legs still. Okay. If eaten player, if spread index equals jump, but also v speed equals 0, then I want you to go to just frog eat. So this is if on ground, go to stand spread. Okay. That should be better. So he's going to jump, eat. If he eats and then lands on the ground, it should go to just a normal eating sprite and continue where it was at. Hopefully. I don't want it to reset its image index, but it might. No, that works great. Okay, so the only other problem we have is it goes to the standing sprite afterwards, which means, so this is after you first amount, so this is if v speed does not equal 0, so we're in the air, it's going to return to its sprite index equals spr leap frog just jump, else it's going to do that. Okay. So now it will eat in air, go back to its original jump sprite afterwards. It does not return the stand sprite. And then if it goes from the air, eats, and it hits the ground, it goes to the eat sprite on the ground versus in the air. It does not do the reverse though. Should we make it do the reverse? Are you going to get eaten and then is he going to jump? I assume that's something that can happen, right? Can he eat and then or is it too fast? Let me try to time it. You gotta like get him on the ground. Okay, I mean, you hardly notice it, but I can still. Okay, so let's see here. Whoa, what's happening there, my dude? Get those legs down. Time us up. If v speed does not equal 0, you're in jumping. Otherwise, you're standing. If sprite equals. This should be if sprite index does not equal leapfrog, but you're meeting the ground. That makes more sense to me. And if you're meeting... Oh, there is already that. What is happening then? If v-speed does not equal 0. If we're moving vertically. Okay, well, we have the other problem to fix, so... Actually, does it really matter? I don't think it does. Let's look at it again. Recompile, baby. Okay, you ain't doing it anymore, so... Oh, he did it. The hell is that? So what if I do... When do I get eaten? Like here? Oh. It's something to do with this. Knocks the player out. V-speed does not equal 0. H-speed does not equal 0. We can try it. It's probably something I'm just not seeing. Eat animation makes sense. Jump, eat. If on ground. If we're in the jump animation and your v-speed equals 0. Send it to the eat. Something to do there. After the jump. Debug it. Let's see if it hits this. So now we're going to run it in debug, which means I can stop the code at certain points. Always forgetting where this level is. Whoa. Oh. So this is going to go to the jump animation. I suppose I should see where all the jumps are. Okay, I don't need to see that. Okay. Okay, hold on. This is going back to jump. Wait, why is his legs like that? Jump? Why does it stay in jump like that? Okay, wait, restart. I think I can get a safe spot right here. Oh, never mind. What about here? Okay. So we want it to stop when it sets it here, but I also want it to stop. Well, not right now. Actually, I probably gotta get out of this thing here, because that's gonna trigger a gajillion times. Actually, I think I have to do it afterwards. Alright. Okay, he didn't even do his animation there. Okay, so we're gonna do a jump. But I can't necessarily check if it's his that's triggering. Does debug help me? Or am I just trolling myself? That's a good question. Let's see if we can figure it out. Okay. Have I learned anything? Oh, phase 2 is the eat the player. Wait a minute, then how do we get back to phase 1? Alright, so right now, phase 1 is the thing that oh, it's probably the fucking controller object. Yep, let's see it. Ah, okay. So this is the jump. If the sprite does not equal, then it actually sets it to jump here. So the controller is causing all the frogs to jump. They're not doing it internally. And what does that mean? How do we get back to phase? Oh, this sets it to phase 1. After they jump, though. And this is if this plus v speed. So v speed is going to be 0, so you're not actually hitting anything. So what if I just do +1 here? Does that solve my problem? Because technically, if we're meeting it in any capacity, I think what's happening is that controller code that sets the frog back to phase 1 isn't running. It's only running after the frog hits the ground, and because the frog has no v speed, it can't add anything, so it can't check 1 pixel below it. So I think that's why the 1 will fix my problem. No, it does not. These frogs are trolling me, dude. Why? Why do your legs stick out so stiffly? What have I done to deserve this? Why does he return to the... Huh? Okay, we got some chicanery going on here, and I think it's because of this line I added. So if on the ground, go to the stand sprite. If you're jumping, and if your v speed, if your sprite is jump, oh, I get it. Do I? Wait a minute. I messed it up. No, I didn't. What if I just turn that off? Does that fix my problem? Is this the problem, is what my question is. Or is it that other bit of code I added? Whoop. No, it's something else. Okay. So this works fine. It is this code here that's making it jump. Okay, we've created a new problem for ourselves. Let's go, baby. All right. So this is the problem. Why is it the problem, though? The player is gotten rid of. We set this to jump, assuming he's moving. We're not getting back to phase 1. Because in phase 1, if we're meeting solid, what if we just copy that code here? What if we change it? Is this within, yeah. If we're meeting a solid, taking into consideration our v-speed divided by 2 plus 1, then I want it to be that. Whoop. Else it can be jump. Because we're technically gonna be moving. That might work. That might work. We'll see. Oh, perfect. No. What the fuck? What is happening? It's something else. It's this, right? I could just make it a stand, I guess. But why is that not working? I think it has something to do with the timing of this controller here. Some sort of little finessing I'm not doing. Yeah, that is it. Confirmed. So if frogs exist with frogs, if type equals the type of this, sprite does not equal jump, make it equal jump. So the problem is that the eating interrupts the jump. This should actually be if sprite index equals SPR frog. Right, because this is assuming that the frog is standing. Then it's going to do that. If it's not standing, because I think what's happening is since technically both eat animations are not jumping, it's just changing it. But we only want to change it to jump when it's standing, not when it's anything else. That might actually be the solution. I may have fixed my problem. That sounds logical. This is what I get for putting animation code in another object, though. Oh. Which also makes sense why the eating animation was interrupted when he was jumped. What the fuck? I thought I had it. What the heck? What the actual heck, guys? Alright. What am I messing up here? So I got the frog, right? See, this is because I'm just not going to relent until it's done. Because I bet, let's try it. I bet if I change this to just a stand, it'll work. I mean, it'll close his legs, but it won't. It'll look weird. I suppose my animation should just be if he's on the ground. He's jumping if he's not. But I have this stupid fucking animation cue change here, which is probably not a good idea. Yeah, see, I don't like that. I hate it. But it works. Oh, is there something in the wait. Okay, fix that. Controller. Do we have any other sprite in here that I'm not noticing? This is if it equals leapfrog. Big think. So wait, this is if you're reading this. Oh. I don't know if I like that. If you're reading it. Or v-speed equals 0. I don't think that can change anything. Else maybe I just need something in phase 2 that detects if place meeting if sprite index equals SPR leap frog. So if you're standing, oh wait, if you're jumping, you need to be standing. Assuming you're also not eating the player. What is the variable I named? Eaten player. Player equals false, right? So if you're on the ground, if you're equal jump, if eaten player is false, make it that. That may solve my problem. Because I think we're not in phase 1. when he's landing. He's in phase 2. That might work. Okay. I can work with that. It's a little slow to the uptake. But it works. Wait, why did he do that there? Oh, it's because I don't have A. Got it. Yeah, okay, so now we need the opposite, like I was saying, like 40 minutes ago. So we have A, if he's on the ground, in V speed, whatever, go to this. Now we need the opposite. I can just copy this. If jumping, actually, well, I'll still do this. V speed does not equal 0, but he just equals jump. If he just equals eat, then he needs to go to the jump. So this is the transitionary phase, because the frog is going to move regardless. And so that means that we need it to go from, if it's jumping, to go to the normal eat if it's standing on the ground, and if it's eating and goes to a jump, it needs to go to the jump. And then when it's done with those animations, it sets the things to 0. Actually, it doesn't have an image speed reset. It's technically not a problem because the player can't physically catch up to it, but it still needs to be changed. So that's with the player. Image speed equals 1. And then technically we're changing the animations for this, so image speed equals 1. Because otherwise the frog theoretically cannot change. Most of the sprites are just whatever, but we also need to change. This is when he craps the player. Okay. Let's set the image speed to 1 there too. Okay. This should work. Perfect. Looks great. I was gonna say I'm really good at this. There's a couple frames sometimes where the player is red. Why is that? Oh, it's because I forgot to remove him from here. My bad. Okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. Let's run it again. No player here. There's that. I think the frog level's almost good. Other than sounds, a fart animation, which I may not add because it might be unnecessary. Perfect. Yeah, it kind of does look like they're already kind of... Well, actually what I could do is I could make it so that when he's in the frog, there's a certain period of time that he's in the frog, and then the frog goes into the fart animation and releases the player from behind. This level teaches patience as a virtue. Unless you just can't handle it. I think I need one more H speed because I want the player to be able to hit that last frog even if they're running right. Oh yeah, you just cannot escape now. You will be participating in the frog train, whether you like it or not. Oh. Yeah. I like that. And if you're holding spacebar, you go even further. I might up it to 10 just cause, but this is pretty good. I also may fill in that gap and force the player to do like this or something. Yeah, that works pretty good. I like that. It's a simple level. But effective. Awesome. I'm pretty happy with that. That looks really good. I like the tongue. Turned out great. I think I might have him sit in there for 10 to 20 minutes. But overall, 10 to 20 minutes. I mean, 10 to 20 steps. Yeah, him being in there for 10 to 20 minutes. Yeah, you just get in there. You can't restart. Game says no. You're stuck, buddy. It's over. Is there anything else I want to do before I go do dishes? Nah, I'll probably work on some of this stuff later. Alright guys, well, thank you for joining me for my test stream. I'm going to watch it back, see how my audio is. I might make transitions and emotes or something. I don't know what I want to do for the next stream, but I do want to stream more consistently. So if you've come out here, I appreciate you coming out here. And I will see you again soon. Sooner than a year, obviously. And I might just start doing more work on stream as well. Alright, good luck for now.